remember the first time we came here? We even brought offerings and everything. And when we told her that Rex Lapis had been assassinated, she immediately threatened to squash Liyue Harbor. We probably don't need to bring any offerings now that we've gotten to know her pretty well, right? Huh? Traveler, did something catch your eye? Whoa, what a pretty lady. Is she also here to visit Cloud Retainer? Yeah, you're right. All it takes is one look and you can tell she's someone special. Okay, but if
Oh,
we're
do they
both
not?
friends of
Oh,
Cloud
they
Retainer,
don't
then
realise
we're
it's her.
basically friends by association, right? Helping you make more connections is a part of Paimon's job as your reliable guide. Hello. Paimon is Paimon.
Oh my god.
This is the Traveler. Paimon doesn't think
I swear
we've
Paimon
met,
says that
but
every
we're
time.
also friends of Cloud Retainer.
You two... What is this tomfoolery? Has this shift in form so clouded your eyes that you no longer recognize one...
Wait, you're... Huh? You're the illuminated bird?
Oh, donning human form is scarcely any test of one's abilities.
So,
Well, one has made plans to pay a visit to some disciples at Liyue Harbor.
you? Worrying about keeping a low profile? You're the one who likes to pop up out of nowhere all over the place.
Oh,
In fact,
like you.
Paimon can think of several examples. Like what?
Looks like Fortnite. Yeah, it is, it's like, yeah, the art style is actually a bit similar. Yeah.
Oh? So you have taken care to follow the proper rules of etiquette after all.
Well, this is all Paimon's got. You don't...
One has never found oneself lacking in basic comforts.
That kinda makes Paimon feel a little guilty for trying to keep them for herself. Ah, right. So by disciples, you must mean Ganyu and Shenhe.
One planned to extend the invitation even if you had not raised the matter yourself. However, one would first inquire as to the reason behind your visit here.
Yeah, we just found ourselves missing you and wanted to see how you were doing.
Is that if there are no urgent matters at hand, then let us make haste for Liyue Harbor.
Sounds great! Then let's all go to Liyue Harbor.
Hopefully I didn't die there.
We're almost at
Oh,
Weihai
God.
Pavilion. Hey, do you think Ganyu will be shocked to see Cloud Retainer like this? Guess we have no idea if Shenhe and Ganyu have ever seen her in this form before. Wait, where did she go? Why are you just standing there, Cloud Retainer?
Quietly now. One shall stay here.
But why? Isn't it better if we all go together?
If one were to proudly proclaim one's presence, Ganyu would surely profess herself otherwise unoccupied and drop. One does not wish to trouble her. Conversing vicariously via you two shall suffice.
Fair enough. Makes sense. Alright then, we'll just pass on your regards and...
Cloud Retainer?
Oh,
Oh, busted.
Is that lady someone you know, Ms. Ganyu?
She is indeed. I'm sorry, Huixin, but
Oh, not to worry, Ms. Ganyu. I'll make the necessary arrangements right away.
thank you, Huixin.
It's been a while, Ganyu.
Greetings. What brings you here today? And Cloud Retainer, too. It's been quite some time since I last saw you in this form.
you are quite mistaken. One is not acquainted with this Cloud Retainer of whom you speak.
Huh?
Seems she's not buying it.
Yeah, literally no one talks that way.
That was but a simple test. One did not expect you to be able to recognize one so easily, especially after so many years of only seeing one's other form.
But recognizing you is...
And one was simply passing by while attending to some...
Wait, Paimon wasn't aware of any important... Oh, Cloud Retainer's right. We've still got something super important to do.
Oh, is that that so?
One simply desired to see you and had no intention of interrupting your work.
I understand.
While one acknowledges the amount of work that you have to deal with every day, one must also remind you to rest. It still makes one nostalgic to see you as you are now, respected and independent.
Cloud Retainer! Stop!
If you insist.
So I skipped through that so much, but it
Wow,
kind of felt
you've
like a
been
lot
to
of
so
waffle.
many new places since the last time we spoke. If you ever need anything, also, forgive me for my presumptuousness, Cloud Retainer, but if you plan to continue appearing in this form,
A human name? Huh. You raise a valid point.
You really think so? Not that you're not.
You presume to know the extent of one's illustrious achievements.
Oh my god.
One would hardly think such a thing to be possible.
Achievements? Sounds like a certain
Nevertheless,
MFL member.
Ganyu's advice cannot be ignored.
Xianyun?
I assume that's a reference to the full record of Pristine Pavilion. An Adeptus of years past would rise with the clouds and rest with the moon. They were enlightened and wise, free and unfettered.
Oh, that sounds super cool!
Actually, those lines were originally written to describe Cloud Retainer herself.
Huh? Wait, so you're really that powerful?
I mean, she is an Adeptus, so...
And what of it?
Yeah.
Did you truly take one to be nothing more than a bird of bigger than average size?
Not exactly.
To be fair, Cloud Retainer rarely speaks of her past accomplishments. It is said that once, a long, long time ago, there was a severe drought in Liyue. Although I did not live through such tragedy, simply reading about it is enough to gain a visceral understanding of all the... On top of the drought, a noxious gas also began to spread through the land. The books had this to... Upon arrival, the Adeptus borrowed the wind to retain the clouds. Immediately, the clouds gathered together, and abundant rain burst forth from the heavens.
Wow. That's incredible!
Mortal records add embellishments to dramatize past events.
Even so, you stopped an entire drought! Oh, Paimon suddenly has a lot more respect for you.
How laughable. A name is but a simple label we carry with us on our journey through the world.
That's a relief.
Well, that is quite enough ancient history for now. Ganyu, have you had word from Shenhe? One has heard that she procured a job recently. Moreover, does she find herself overly inundated with work?
That is a lot of questions.
There is no cause for concern, Cloud Retainer. Wanmin Restaurant's business has been booming recently. So, with Chef Mao being swamped with customers...
I see. Most excellent indeed. One has had the pleasure of being introduced to that family. Now, it is almost time to partake in the victuals of noon. What?
Huh? But didn't you just say that you had something important to do?
Can that wait until after we've eaten?
You may return to your work, Ganyu. What?
Of course, Cloud Retainer. Please take care. Traveler, Paimon, I'll see you some other time.
See you around, Ganyu!
I don't remember her
I'm
working here.
saying, right?
Yeah, how can I not? Not even fine food is enough to distract from the presence of a fine lady, eh?
Oh, I'm far more interested in getting her details than ordering any dishes.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
how about you?
You do it.
No. I think you should. Wait, she's coming.
What can I get for you today?
Greetings, miss. I was just wondering if you'd be willing to...
What would you like to order?
2 servings of Mora meat to go. Good chat. Bye.
Okay then.
Welcome. It's been a while. May I take your order?
Don't welcome us as guests and greet us as old friends in the same line.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is?
This is Miss Xianyun.
Wait, she doesn't realise?
Master?
Oh, okay.
One does not recall ever revealing this form to you before. How were you able to ascertain one's true identity with such ease?
I've trained and lived with Master for more than 10 years.
You...
Is something the matter, Master?
Hardly. Hardly. One simply learned of your employment from your letter and came—
And check out the great...
Indeed. It's almost lunchtime. My apologies. I'm still on the clock and can't talk for very long.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon. The lunch rush isn't in yet, Shenhe. So, I've got things covered for now. Go ahead, sit down and enjoy some time with your friends.
Thank you, Chef Mao.
I guess it's just about her past, like Cloud Retainer's past.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable and accommodating human. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put this?
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence recently, one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Just as expected of Master. I have missed Master quite a bit too.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future.
Whoa.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor...
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name.
I see. In that case, allow me to also share a story about Master's past.
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter, please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you possess.
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural edge in such a contest. In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race.
Huh. What kind of device was it?
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again? Oh, an electro-powered bicycle?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunderflashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing
So just a
and
knockoff
crafting it.
motorbike.
It need only be infused with adeptal energy. And oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch.
Master, that was the end of that story.
Is that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest.
Have you been lonely, Master?
Lonely? At one's age,
Pretty sure she has been.
entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. What is the reason for that look upon your face?
It's nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real Cloud Retainer?
To me, they are both, Master.
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. This is not to say that your words paint an
Oh my
accurate
God.
picture. One has always lived by a...
She got
Yeah, I'm
like,
skipping all of that.
two
Jesus.
sentences of flattery from her disciple, and it's as if her ego is about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
Alright, good luck with the lunchtime rush, Shen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by the looks of it, it's just about Cloud Fortuna's past then.
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill.
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still super tasty.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny? But it smells so delightful. Can we really not eat here?
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy to share a table.
Okay, I'll ask around. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left, so...
Well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys?
Well, yeah, Paimon, you don't even have to sit down.
Great! Thanks so much. My name is Xianyun, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Granny?
Yep. Is there some...
No, Paimon's just a bit surprised. She looks so young.
Really?
Yeah.
When she has
A lot of people compliment Granny
grey
on her
hair.
youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she appears. Granny, why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's
probably
not polite to
recognizes
stare.
her somehow.
Huh. Have we met before?
No.
Tis a fated meeting, then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order for you.
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rainstorm.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no braised earthworms on the menu.
Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat that? Right, that's what Paimon was thinking too. Need any help?
Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning.
Didn't think dementia would be in Genshin Impact.
They died young. But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too.
Wow, you're really tough for your age, kid.
You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about me?
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things. Wait, what? I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark.
Huh? That sounds super important.
It was just a dream, so I forgot about it. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But just how many times have I had it?
Wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
Better call Nahida.
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear, and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like, Granny?
Not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me.
A younger version of Granny?
This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together.
Are you sure?
Paimon's Paimon.
Just Xianyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but,
Oh, we don't need any payment for this.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But Miss Xianyun, all we have to go off is that dream. Where do we start?
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny, do you remember which places you went to when you were young?
Why, of course I do. The heavens above, the earth below, the wispy clouds.
Okay, taking that as a no.
I might have an idea. Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who's, if it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Xingqiu knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's him. Let's go find him at the Feiyun Commerce Guild.
I'm pretty sure Zhongli would know for sure, but okay.
I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want,
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters.
Street word rambler?
Oh my god, who is this?
You mean Madame Ping?
Second time it's happened.
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
Huh. It's you two.
Xingqiu! Great, we found...
Didn't mean to skip through that one though.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who...
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai.
Thanks a lot, Xingqiu. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool.
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all...
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too!
Well, they used to be. So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Xingqiu.
It's no problem at all.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, Ping. What has amused you so?
Wait, her name used to be Streetward.
It's no
Like,
serious
wait, what?
matter.
Streetward something.
I was just...
Streetward Rambler?
Oh my god, who is this?
You mean Madam Ping?
Reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Time has little bearing on one's existence.
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden?
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor? Not unlike the one that you yourself lead.
Oh, she actually wants to live in
It
the
does
city.
not require as much as you may think.
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Nothing save for some trivial matters.
Xingqiu has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yuendai have joined up with us again.
Do not be troubled, young lady.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in her attic full of a bunch of weird sigils. I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
What marvelous tea. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you.
What's wrong, Chuyu?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Oh! About that.
Well, you guys just seem super special.
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Xianyun, since you were the one who, misspoke.
One is indeed an adeptus.
Huh? I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane. I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross, but she put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed and my fever was gone. I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
Well, that literally is her.
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown. Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Oh, is that not her?
Never has one met an adeptus with such features.
Well, that's weird. Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, let's go to Wangshu Inn first!
Okay.
Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait. Huh? Whoa! Shao! What are you doing?
I was literally wondering if he was going to be here.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look. If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see. I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Oh god.
Behold,
Oh
the
no.
glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
An impressive
What on earth was
imitation.
that?
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that?
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, when dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor. Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form.
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then, at this place,
Perhaps this conversation should end here. Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name.
Everyone! I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
a long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh. So what Shinjo said was true.
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. One day, I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills. He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts.
I swear it
I'm
always does.
sorry, I don't. Oh,
Paimon's brain never
if
works for
only
him.
I wasn't so useless.
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me.
Oh, fret not, dear child.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process.
Next location. Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so after all, if she was there for any length of time...
I don't remember this place at all. Still, I was thinking.
Huh? Why a game of hide and seek?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because...
I don't remember playing it that much.
Ah, is that so?
Not here then. Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before, but I don't think I stayed here too long.
Got it. That's okay. There are still plenty of other places we can check. Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place... it's...
Of course, it was the last place I went to that she knew. Of course.
I remember. Shuyu. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit. I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin.
Sin?
I don't know. I don't remember. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shu. But you're always going to be different from me. Why?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. All right. Let's not stand around any longer.
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny Wendy?
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here before? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Wendy's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Thank you. If only I could remember. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
That's literally where Cloud Retainer lives.
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount outside?
Yeah.
Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push
I
yourself,
see now.
Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Basically, earlier, I think it was Zhao said about her being in her human form like 30 years ago. That was probably roughly the time she mentioned of like giving birth. So she probably went back over there where Cloud Retainer lives before, but saw Cloud Retainer in her human form. I'm guessing that's what it is anyway.
Mount Outsong, What am I really?
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but
Are you feeling unwell?
My head... It feels all heavy and dizzy.
Cloud... Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But...
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories.
Wait, really?
I never leave anything to chance.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've prepared?
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state, soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia. Its potential uses are numerous indeed.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But we could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating!
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon. We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves.
Paimon thinks she gets it now.
As previously mentioned, A gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler.
Oh, so that was
Only with her
Ping's old name,
melodies can the
Streetwood
mechanism
Rambler.
reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
And you and I. Is the mechanism helping you to relax? It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have
Oh,
never
it was
left.
her.
The you of the past. The me.
Was she an Adeptus or something?
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you okay?
Cloud Retainer.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? You already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything. Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. Oh, don't worry, my dear child. I'm so sorry, everyone. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on.
They're like knockoff Scaramouche.
Everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story. Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter. I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake.
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Xianyun Karst?
I am, in truth, not a human being. I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom, though she never took me on as a formal disciple. I always saw her as my master. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. But I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time...
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
Was it because of Grandpa? Indeed. I fell in love. Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, he cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering. I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away.
Oh no.
I committed an offense.
I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same
It was probably
time.
because of her, wasn't it?
Granny, what's wrong?
Coincidence? Why did I ever
Yeah.
think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? Master, don't tell me.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
Hence why she was in human form back then and why she sensed the familiarity with her. Like, you know, when we met them in the restaurant thing. It all makes sense now.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. One found you with such ease every time.
Wait! Paimon's confused! So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Oh. Okay.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses. Skyward! Scatter!
It's really cool what they're doing here.
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. But soon, one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. Unwilling to begrudge someone of such character, one decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies. Wishing to grant you a life without regrets, one gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. One was quite torn. Yeah, skyward! Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you could have been lost during the night. Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. Said godly remains, in turn, one was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest, to see you happy. Skyward! Scatter! Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait, but if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, One had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Just as Yuendai troubled one with her antics, upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true adeptus, because one had no choice but to apply powder to one's body
So it was her,
to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuendai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been revealed. One owes you an apology, Yuendai. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had one simply informed you of all you had lost, memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who live through them. Would you not agree?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake?
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice. Nothing. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return.
Thank you.
You and I. One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, even the power of an adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories.
So, what's gonna happen to Granny?
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, you've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have ever hoped for.
Not long.
Granny? Please don't leave, okay?
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. My only regret is having to leave you behind. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong.
I promise.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet
Oh
again
god.
someday.
Yeah.
I'll eat well, Granny.
That line would have probably struck a chord
I'll
with the
wait for you,
traveller.
no matter how long it takes.
Oh god, yeah,
I'll wait
like
for
this
you to
entire
come back.
thing.
That's a good girl.
Yeah.
Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master.
Xianyun.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not... Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax.
Oh, cutscene. Wait, Paimon's lying down?
I always believed we would see each other again.
Oh,
That
so
our
that's
days
why.
of separation
Oh.
would finally end. And all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
Yeah, that's why they're shown together in the trailer thing for this. Oh, I see.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
For God's sake, Paimon.
Was Paimon sleeping just now?
Yep, dreaming about food as always.
Oh. Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks, that's all.
Madam Adeptus?
Paimon was basically dreaming of fast food.
How do you feel?
I feel a little better. Thanks. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you something?
Oh, and have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it, but without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day I could become a cool Adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire, one shall make it so.
Also, she's
Thank you
like
so much,
got no
Madam
one to look
Adeptus.
after her right now.
No, I mean, Master.
Xianyun, are you sure about this? Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. We've seen Cloud Retainer's 2 other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
If you join them, you'll never enjoy One Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So,
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comforts. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor. Shu Yu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
We've had to do that a
Don't
lot
worry,
of times
we'll
now.
help you keep it a secret. So, when can we expect to start seeing you in the city?
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock.
Seems like you've really thought of everything. Then how about we meet up in Liyue Harbor in 2 days?
A sensible plan. See you then. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense somnium mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future.
Awesome! Thanks, Cloud Retainer!
Your concerns are excessive and unfounded.
To be quite honest, your insistence on that fact is my primary cause for concern. In what way are any of these ordinary? Every single item here could be worth more than everything I own combined. I simply can't risk shelling out that kind of mora without proper scrutiny. I have to be careful. Yes, you can never be too careful.
We're here, Cloud. Miss Xianyun, what are you guys arguing about?
Ah, perfect timing. This ignoramus is questioning the authenticity of my wares. I'll have you know, these items have remained untouched
Oh
in my
my,
personal
this
collection
idiot.
for several hundred
She's
years.
trying to, she's trying to
Question
keep
their
it secret
legitimacy is
that
pure
she's an
folly.
adeptus.
Several hundred years?
Indeed.
Oh my god. Oh,
They're
okay.
family heirlooms, you see. Passed down over many generations.
Yep, they've definitely been around a while.
Hear that? Had I not found myself in need of mora, I would scarcely have had the heart to part with them. Indeed, you should consider it an honor to even have the opportunity to behold them with your own eyes. Doubt their authenticity any further, and I may just decide to take them to another buyer.
Whoa, please don't go! I apologize for any insult, miss. You see, I know full well that I lack the knowledge to judge the true worth of these items.
Wait, is it
If you could
Zhongli?
wait but a moment. I've hired an expert to appraise them.
Go on,
for me.
please be
He
Zhongli.
should be here shortly.
An expert, you say?
It must be
Very well.
Zhongli,
I
surely.
will wait for a little while longer then. Traveler, Paimon, this is my new residence.
Master! Oh, it's you two again. Hello.
Xianyun, you got a new outfit. It looks great on you.
Mm-hmm. Master made it for me. I like it too.
Oh god, imagine if she ends up being playable in the
You know
future.
how to make clothes?
do I know how to make clothes. With the support of the proper mechanism, so...
Master, I brought in most of my stuff.
Fret not, I shall help you move them into your room.
Actually, I should probably, sort through my stuff a bit first.
It appears my young apprentice has her own fair share of secrets. Now, this expert you mentioned, when can we expect their arrival?
Soon. Ah, there he is. Here, allow me to make
Yeah,
some
it's our boy,
introductions.
Mr. Zhongli.
This is Mr. Zhongli, a well-respected consultant at Wangshang Funeral Parlor and an expert in all manner of valuables and antiques. Mr. Zhongli, this is Miss Xianyun. She's the one who's looking to sell the collection of valuables I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, this is probably going to be a bit awkward.
If it isn't Miss Xianyun. It has been quite some time since our last meeting. What a serendipitous reunion.
Indeed, most serendipitous. Have you been faring well as of late, Mr. Zhongli?
Quite well, thank you. I was fortunate enough over the past few days to enjoy both a stroll in the mountains and a fresh brew of tea from the most recent harvest.
Huh. So you two are already acquainted?
Indeed. How fortunate we are that fate has brought us together again. If you are otherwise unaware, allow me to inform you that Miss Xianyun is a well-regarded collector and appraiser.
You are too kind, Mr. Zhongli. True collectors pride themselves on their wealth of knowledge and eye for detail.
Why, you flatter me, Miss
Parmon's
Xianyun.
face.
It would seem that you are as self-effacing as ever.
Not at all, Mr. Zhongli. Not at all.
While I am loath to butt into this conversation, I must ask, you two already knew each other, and you seem to have quite a cordial relationship.
Ha! A preposterous accusation! The heavens themselves would collapse before we would conspire to do such a thing.
Miss Xianyun speaks the truth. Contracts are built on honesty and trust. If that proves to be beyond your capabilities in this instance...
Say no more. Let us depart.
I jest. What fool would still harbor doubts after Mr. Zhongli himself has vouched for the goods? Miss Xianyun, wait! I deeply apologize for doubting you. So, Mr. Zhongli, could you please give me a final verdict on
He's
the
gonna say
value of
some
these items?
ridiculous amount, isn't
There
it?
is no cause for concern. They are indeed rare and precious valuables. Take this mechanism, for instance. Though one may not immediately perceive its purpose, its structure and appearance are exquisite enough to merit it a place in any fine home. The same can be said for this one here. I am sure you have heard from your travels that the study of mechanisms is among the most wondrous arts in this world.
All right. Since I hired you as my consultant, Mr. Zhongli, then in that case, Miss Xianyun, I'll take the lot. However, since the final sum is quite large, how about we start with an initial deposit through the Northland Bank?
The Northland Bank? Huh. Oh, you refer to the fiduciary house.
I fear people only use the term bank nowadays.
Wait, is that what
In
banks
that
used to be
case,
called?
I'll be off for now.
Wait.
I'll return to collect the goods once you've received the funds.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well. Okay then.
My friends, have you been doing well?
We've been great. How about you? Paimon didn't know you were such a busy consultant.
My days have been quite pleasant as well. As for you, Miss Xianyun, I presume you must be looking to settle in the city?
I must say, the name Xianyun sounds exceedingly strange coming from you.
Whatever for. Am I not addressing you as a friend should?
Well, that is true, but... Alas, refer to me however you will. After all, a name exists such that others may address you with it.
It would seem that you have gained many valuable insights over the years, Cloud Retainer.
One has indeed. One's previous stays were all brief. Now that one has made up one, this city is much changed from how it was more than 1,000 years ago.
Not unlike the ocean tides, so too shall the movement of people ebb and flow. From turmoil to peace, enlightenment to aspiration. Human society possesses limitless potential.
Alright, that's enough reflection for one day. No need to get all sentimental on us.
You make a valid point, Paimon. Now that the sale has concluded, what say one plays the host as we try some specialty dishes together?
Perhaps you have forgotten, Cloud Retainer, but I once tried my hand at that dish. You were at the table on that occasion, so logic dictates that you should have already tried it.
Oh? What occasion was this?
It was a reunion between friends several centuries ago. Alas, you must have been too preoccupied to secure yourself a portion.
Hardly. 'Twas most certainly out of consideration for the others in attendance. It is settled then. Bamboo shoot soup, mora meat, crab roe tofu, triple-layered consommé. We shall enjoy the lot. One has already passed word to Xianyun Ganyu to make a reservation.
Oh,
It is
wow.
prime time for them to meet one's newest disciple.
Wow, so
Is
we
that
have like the
agreeable to
whole
everyone?
Adeptus gang, basically.
It should be a most
Like
splendid
with Zhongli.
occasion.
Shu Yu, come now, it is time to dine. Ah, this gentleman over here is Mr. Zhang Li. He is,
A humble employee of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
Nice to meet you too, Mr. Zhongli.
That should be everyone, right?
Sounds good. Actually, Master, have you ever tried Adeptus' temptation? I heard it's impossible to stop eating after even just one bite. You know, 'cause it's super tempting and stuff.
That sounds rather implausible.
Huh? Why are you all walking so fast? Hey, wait for Paimon! Hey, wait up!
Oh. Yeah, that was a nice quest. Problem I had with it was just that I was a bit confused at first to, you know, what was actually going on with the quest. Because it just seemed very weird that, you know, we were kind of talking about the past then, but then we went on to, like, that old woman with dementia and stuff like that. So it seemed a bit confusing with, like, you know, what direction it's taken. Even got, you know, the boy, our boy Zhongli there in the end. Yeah, had that nice cutscene. Traveler reunited with their sibling for like 2 minutes in a dream. Paimon was hungry as ever. So yeah.